Good morning, I'm Joe. I'm a boomer and a coffee addict, and I love all things coffee. Let's do a pour over this morning. We're going to do a Chemex, and Chemex is what got me into pour over. I haven't really gone through the journey of how I got into pour overs. Before we do that, let me advertise a little bit. I don't do that much, but if you like our morning coffee chats, conversation, tips and tricks, and a good story every now and then, please like and follow and share and post comments. I like the comments. I like answering questions. I like receiving good information. So back to coffee. We're going to do a Chemex. How did I get into coffee in the first place? There was a guy in our office, a fine gentleman named Alan, who was a dedicated coffee drinker, always had a pot going in the office. And I was, I don't know, early 40s. Anyway, the way he got me going on coffee was he said, Joe, come on now, you got to try this. And he would take a packet of hot chocolate, a hot chocolate mix, and dump that into his coffee, and that was his creamer every morning. So he got me to doing that, and coffee had me at that point. And so we were doing, oh gosh, it was a Mr. Coffee type drip coffee, and so I had Mr. Coffee or a Black and Decker or something in my house doing drip coffee from then on. And then I wanted something more. I got into Keurigs when they came out, and I had a Keurig machine and or Green Mountain. And interesting story behind the K-Cup and Green Mountain. It was actually founded by a hippie couple that made a fortune selling papers, wrapping cigarette papers. Guess what those were for? Well, anyway, they bought this Green Mountain coffee and a patent for the K-Cup. And that took off from there. Anyway, that's a rabbit hole. I did K-Cups. From there, I went into something called pods. Philips Electronics out of Europe used to make a pod machine. And that was a step up. Those were good. But availability was sketchy. And you had to buy their brand pods if you bought, or not pods, I guess that's what they called them. It was a little paper filter envelope full of coffee. And you would open the thing, pop that in there, shut it, and they worked about 2/3 of the time. About a third of the time, you'd just get a hot stream of water coming out of the machine. I liked it so much, I bought a fancy one of those machines for a niece and nephew as a housewarming present. One of those things where they never used. Anyway, from there, let's see, I was doing pods, and I have told this story. I took 4 days off of work, 5 days off of work in Chicago, and went to a workshop for building ukuleles with a Chicago luthier. Really brilliant artist and engineer, all wrapped up into one. Ian Schneller. Very interesting fellow. Anyway, my first day I show up early. There's nobody else in the workshop. And he points to an object that looked like this. And he said, best way to make coffee ever invented. You got to try it. And that's what got me into Chemex. And I'm going to brew up a fair bit of coffee this morning. This is 3 scoops. I'm not weighing it out. I just know what I want. 3 scoops. And if I was brewing just for myself with 2 scoops, I'd take the water to the equator. But now I'm going to take it all the way up to this little belly button. That's about 6 cups. And I'm not going to drink it all at once, and so I've got 2 insulated mugs here. And this is about where I want it. I'm going to stop it right there. And pour some coffee. Leave room for cream there. I don't know if you could hear the putt-putt, but this ceramic double-walled cup has a hole in the bottom and a plastic plug. And when you put this in the dishwasher, it gets water up in there. And I drain it out as best I can. But when you put hot coffee in there, it was going pop, 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 pop. That was water coming out of the bottom. Anyway, this is my own little thermal insulated pitcher here, and I'm going to save that for later. And enjoy some coffee in my Christmas mug right now. Yeah, a little stevia. We're going to make a hole right there. And I'll just slip a long handled spoon down in there. It's a silly little thing, but if you drink it right out of the same hole where you put the sugar, it's going to be nice and sweet. Not sugar, stevia. Well, I have a pop quiz for all of us boomers. And here's the pop quiz. If I were to ask you, or say to you, hey, let's go down and stomp on the wire and get a bottle of pop, how many of you would know what I'm talking about? Post your guesses, post your knowledge in the comments, and we'll see who's old enough to remember what that phrase means. Cheers.